This deck box contains over $4,000 in Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And no, this is not a Yu-Gi-Oh collection. This is only one deck. In this video, I'm going to be displaying the most expensive deck in Yu-Gi-Oh history, and it's maybe a coincidence, but this is the deck I've been playing for the past 3 and almost 4 years. Konami has shown a lot of love to the Despia branded archetype and released a lot of these cards in high rarity and premium rarities, and I've been collecting them through the years, and it seems like it's sort of reached the sort of end game where the deck is extremely expensive. And honestly, in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh, there's not been a single archetype that trumps this deck in terms of price. So we're going to be walking through every single card in the deck, all the high rarity stuff, and showing you all of them in beautiful HD. And yeah, let's get into it. So welcome, we're going to be doing this in like a nice split screen fashion. Before we begin, this video has been almost 4 years in the making and cost $4,000 to make, so you better hit that like button and subscribe to show your love for the branded SPR or just for high rarity cards in general. You know, we love those. We're going to be walking through the entire branded collection that I own. Most of it is just one deck, but basically it's just a deck box and a half that comprise of the strategy. We're going to be showing the price on screen and the total as well, and you'll see this deck gets extremely expensive. Throughout the video, you're going to be seeing me using this beautiful playmat, and of course these beautiful oversleeves that are of course from sleevechief.de. The link is in the description below if you want to get yourselves some of these or just deck boxes and playmats in general, and of course use code GALZO5 at checkout. We're going to be starting actually with the OG, one of the first branded cards I've ever owned, and this is the Aluber, the Jester of Despia first edition from Dawn of Majesty. This is the first printing of this card, and while this card obviously has been reprinted to death, like look at all the reprints this card has by now, this card was one of the most expensive cards, non-high rarity cards in recent memory, reaching $135 at peak just for this card. First edition from Dawn of Majesty Secret Rare, and as a bonus, this is also a misprint because as you can see in the card text of this card, if this card is normal special summon, you can add one Despia spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So this was a misprint actually. It's supposed to say branded spell trap, obviously, and I'll never get rid of this card. I'll never trade it. It's obviously not worth much now, but this is extremely iconic. Let's get into the big hitters. Now, we have obviously the boy, right? The boy himself, Fallen of Albaz. Now, this is the recent printing. This card is about 30 bucks now, I think, just because the archetype is still very popular. Quarter Century Secret Rare from Rarity Collection 1. This is, I mean, I kind of like this rarity in general. Like, you're going to see a lot of Starlights and a lot of QCRs in this video. I obviously prefer Starlight because I don't really like the lettering here where you can't read the card. But yeah, Fallen of Albaz. And of course, besides that, we have the other boy that just got a buff, which is Aluber, the Jester of Despia, that also just got a Quarter Century Secret Rare in the Rarity Collection 2. Now you can see this card searches for branded spell traps and not Despia spell traps. Now, these two cards actually have had other printings in OTS. Aluber, they also have max rarity ultimate rare prints. So Aluber has OTS 20 as an ultimate rare. We obviously have those. And yeah, I've upgraded because I think it just looks better in the context of the deck because there's so many Starlights and QCRs. And of course Albaz, which is just a beautiful print, both of them European, OTS 19, and then Branded Fusion obviously got the ultimate rare, which you will see in the deck as well. So just like the most basic cards of the deck, already 12 max rarity cards, which is pretty awesome. And now jumping into the girls, we obviously have 3 Cartesia. Cartesia was a secret rare from Darkwing Blast, also a Starlight rare. These are Starlights, like look at the lettering, you can read it so clear, it's so nice, it's like the OG secret rare print, rainbow color. One of these is actually North American print. This one I got from Ruxin 34, and these two I completed for the collection. These are European. Everything else is European in this video besides this one. And I kind of like it. I like the fact that it's from Ruxin. It has some sort of warm place in my heart. And then obviously we have the other girl, Quem, which is just beautiful as well. Had to get me 3 of these. You rarely play 3, I think only like in Runic Despia or like Runic Bystial. This is a Cyberstorm Axis card. It's very expensive even for the secret rare, and just because Cyberstorm Axis hasn't gotten a reprint yet. So Starlights are just beautiful. I really love them so much more than I do with how much I love QCRs, which is not a lot. This is not a max rarity card, but I had these from like day one. These are so beautiful, like the super rare. I really like the rarity in general, and if you're running Albions, might as well be, you know, this. Now, moving on to other cards. This is surprisingly, like, still $5. It just got a reprint, but this is the original print from Number Hunters. It's pretty, like, old. It's probably going to go down eventually, but this is still a very, very old print that not a lot of people can get. Obviously not a branded card, but you play this in the deck. So, yeah. Now, for the Bystials, obviously we have all of them. All the important ones. This was a huge surprise to me when this came out in Monsters Revenge. You can see the pattern of the foil here is kind of muted. It's not that, like, some of them just stick out more, some of them less, like this Bystial Rebellion, and you can see you can barely read the name, which is why I don't like it. But, I mean, if any card is going to get a high rarity, it's definitely going to be this. This is the iconic one, and these are still like $230 or something, like still expensive for each copy of these. Now for the Bystials, there's actually like $1 difference from the supers to the secrets. I have the supers. I just prefer the look a lot better. Now they're all like, I think Magnemite is like $2.50. This is like $10-12, and this is also like $9. And the difference between the secret and the super is like really small. It's like a couple bucks. And the secret rare printing from the 2023 tins this year has been awful. Like, I don't know if you guys own these cards, but it looks like fake cards. The printing quality was just absurd, awful. Like, these are Euro super rares, OG prints. Like, nothing beats that in my mind. So I'm gonna keep them. I'm not gonna upgrade just because, like, first of all, the price doesn't justify it, like buying these all over again, and also the print is just really ugly. I'm just gonna keep these, like each one of these like $10, which is great. Now let's head over to some super spells. Just spells. Brand New Fusion, released in OTS 22. Couple OTSs after Albaz. Obviously the archetype got a lot of support. This is a European print. This is why you can see the swirl so nice. I just gave one away, and the person who got it was like, oh my god, like my American print is garbage. Yeah, I'm sorry Americans, but your ultis are just not them. Beautiful. I really like that this is still an ultimate rare before it gets, you know, we have the Albaz collection coming soon, and it's probably going to get a QCR. Deployment. A new edition, not a branded card, but this is a staple 3 of in branded. Again, like QCR doesn't stand out so much here, but when it comes to spells, it's nice. I don't really like the gold with the green, but you know, this is still like a max rarity card for a staple that is mainly like the reason why this is in the rarity collection too is just branded. Like no deck plays this, no deck played it, just because of branded, and branded got a lot of love in this set, obviously. Now these are some OGs. Allure of Darkness, definitely a staple in branded. Now, this is an old ass card. Like these cards, by the way, like if you haven't held an OG Ultimate Rare, like from back in the day, like this is Phantom Darkness, the card stock is actually really thin, so it's really like easy to bend. So you got to be careful. This is why I use the Sleeve Chief oversleeves to make sure these are protected. Like the pattern is so much more muted and understated, and obviously the border is not foil as well. But yeah, these are like $80 a piece. Beautiful for the collection, staple and branded in some variants. And then Super Volley, actually not the highest rarity of this card technically. Konami printed this in Crystal Revenge as a Starlight, and then in Monsters Revenge as QCR when they just released QCRs. So, I didn't want to buy the Starlights just because this is already like, I think it's like, these are probably like $120. I'm not sure the price is going to be on the screen for everything, or like $110 or like $100, and the Starlights are like 130. So it's not that big a difference, and like I don't currently use this. I actually really want the Ultimate Rares. I think they are extremely nice. So some nice 3-up spells here, and we have some new releases. We have the Foolish Burial. Again, you can see the holo is not that, like if you're from North America and you have your own prints, they probably like shine like crazy. These are a little bit more muted. So we have Foolish Burial, obviously. Now you can see the Called is a bit more on the bright side, and of course, Gold Sarcophagus. Again, from Rarity Collection 2. These are obviously staples in branded. Now, this is not strictly a branded card. I do play this in branded currently and have been playing it for a while. Thrust European OTS 22. This was actually alongside branded Fusion, so it fits as a set. And then branded Opening is still like an expensive card. Secret Rares from the 2022 tins. Beautiful stuff. Love to see it. These cards are probably like $5 to $10 still, so still a nice collection piece. So yeah, this is the main deck. One more shout out to Dogmatika cards. There's obviously, like, these are obviously branded lore cards. This obviously has, Plesia has a Starlight, which is way more expensive than this QCR. I just don't play this deck much, so couldn't justify like spending on a playset so far. But Maximus and Fleur have been seeing a little bit of play out in branded, specifically Maximus as well. And these OG prints like go for a few bucks, right? Because these are the high rarity prints from Rise of the Duelist. Iconic set, first set of the Albaz lore, and the first card of the Albaz lore, which again is not really seeing too much play at the moment in branded, is Nadir Servant. And the reason I got the Ultimate Rares from Rarity Collection 1 is just I didn't want everything to be a Starlight or a QCR, and I thought this was actually like really good looking when it comes to like spells where you saw that the European prints are just like a little bit muted. So this is beautiful. I mean, this looks great. Not seeing a lot of play, but looks amazing so far. Now for the extra deck, obviously we have, look at how much this one shines though. This looks insane. This is the most expensive card in the branded lore currently. As a high rarity card, it's like $300 something at the moment. Obviously, you gotta have two, because we obviously play two. And this was so exciting when they first announced it. I was like, oh my god, it's finally happening. And in the same set, they also released this, obviously. Right? Granganiel, the Dusk Dragon, iconic. One of the cards that changed branded forever. Obviously, you gotta have two European Starlights for that. A new addition in Rinbrum, the Striking Dragon. Looks absolutely great, I think. I'm happy this got a buff. I mean, thinking about other players, like 7 rarity slots for Rinbrum, the Striking Dragon, but I guess that's fine. Drago Stapella from the previous rarity collection, a staple and branded, like no list plays without it. And this one just got a QCR. And the Starlight is just incredible. This was previously like $300. I don't really remember. It's like $150, $200 probably at this point, just because Starlights are still very expensive. And a beautiful card, staple and branded. I really enjoy having this. This is also a North American print. Maybe you can tell. Maybe you can tell by the shine. Doesn't stick out so much, but yeah. 2 editions in the rarity collection again. Like you can barely see the foil pattern here. Like you really have to shine it at the right angle to see it. But Masquerade, just a random choice from Konami. Another beautiful Starlight, Alba Lenidus from Dimension Force, the Ultimate Fusion, formed by Albaz and Eluber. And then I am not gonna back down on this. First of all, like people have been asking me on Twitter, why isn't your Chimera QCR? First of all, as I said, I don't want everything to be QCR. Like, look at all of this. It's just tacky. But first of all, I own 2 of these for the Chimera Illusion deck, and I really like this. And in terms of price, this is currently the most expensive print of Guardian Chimera. So this is like a full odds shiny, right? Full odds rarity from an actual set. And rarity collection is kind of cheap. I'm probably gonna get the QCRs, maybe like 1 QCR to fit within this deck, and then the 2 can go into the Chimera, the 2 collectors, which is fine. And then finally, we have like a few more expensive cards. Titanica, the Ash Dragon, Secret Rare First Edition from Rise of the Duelist, European print. No high rarity for this card. This is probably like $15 still. Like there's no high rarity. Everything else is like ultra and common, I think. And this card is just beautiful. And I'm happy it's seeing play. This is obviously the only print, but still an expensive card. We have, of course, let's not forget, there's a Synchro in this archetype. This is still like $100 probably. This is like a Starlight. Cyberstorm Axis, of course, with Quem. We got so much love over the years. And then lastly, a card that is seeing a lot of play. Like, you would probably see this over Mud Dragon anytime because you can just send this off of Grand Guignol and draw a card. Garura, Wings of Resonant Life. Again, another new one. So yeah, I think this is everything. Based on my calculations, last time I did it, it was over $4,000. And, you know, I understand not everybody can afford this. I understand that this might seem like a bit tacky to make a video about this, but I think that people who know me a little bit and have seen my journey throughout YouTube, like this deck has meant a lot to me, and like Yu-Gi-Oh in general, but I was playing this deck. It was like the beginning of pandemic, rough times personally for me, and this deck really helped me out a lot, like playing this deck, understanding the lore, getting the love and seeing like all the cards and also like YouTube making videos about this deck and getting the feedback was amazing. And like this is not just spending $4,000 in a day. This is over years of collecting, right? And still playing the deck, winning nationals with it, winning a lot of regionals and tournaments with it. I've had a journey with this. So even though like this is obviously not affordable to anyone or like everyone, not anyone, everyone. But it's important to me that this is not just a flex video, and this also has like meaning behind it, because for me it has a lot of meaning, and I love these cards so much. Pieces of cardboard that I collect, they have a lot of meaning to me. So I hope you can respect that, and obviously I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, make sure to like, comment down below. What is your favorite card out of this collection? Do you own any high rarity branded cards? Thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.